Well, sitting on the outside and looking in, that's a little tough. And I can give you a better answer 6 months after I've been in the job in terms of the efficiencies, because we're at a handicap sitting here not knowing the inner workings. But I mean, my history is that in terms of efficiencies in the corporate world, I've participated in downsizing and those kind of things where you have to make those tough decisions to reduce costs. And until I got into the actual role of a JP and saw what the costs were and where they're going and understood it, I think it would be inappropriate for me to say, well, I'm going to get rid of 2 people out of the 6 that are there, or 7 or whatever, and without knowing specifically what their roles are and what they're doing. But efficiencies and cost savings are always important, and that's been an area that I've been deeply involved all my adult life, one way or another.
That's a very good area for my expertise. I'm currently the treasurer of my homeowners association. I've been treasurer for 9 years. When I came on as the treasurer, we were about $40,000 to $50,000 in debt. Our reserves currently are over $120,000, and we have not had a dues increase in 9 years. And so I think that speaks to my fiscal abilities and my ability to find areas to cut corners. And obviously that's something I would do, is I would look at what we can do coming in, but off the top, having looked at the courts and having sat in the courts and looking at the processes and talking to people as I've walked numerous homes in both Tempe and Ahwatukee for this. One of the things that I heard was people who got frustrated because they maybe filed something in the wrong court. Maybe they were supposed to be in Tempe City Court instead of in Justice Court. And their feeling was that they got the papers, they went in, they turned it in, and nobody said, hey, you're in the wrong court. So some of the things like where you could affect better time management for everyone is that if we had something that gave a checklist of what should be in this court and what's this jurisdiction, I think would be a help to cut out some perhaps erroneous caseload. I think also making sure that we know what we're doing so that we're not in a situation where we're perhaps doing mediation when there's absolutely no factual basis to require someone to mediate, and if the parties have no intentions of mediating. So for instance, one of the people that I've talked to when I was walking said that they had a situation, they had a contract, they absolutely 100% met the requirements of the contract, and the person that they were dealing with kind of wanted a blue light special, for lack of a better term, knew they weren't entitled to it, but when he took them to court to pay, the judge mandated that they go to mediation. And so the business owner had to miss an extra day of work for mediation, didn't have any intentions of negotiating, didn't negotiate, still had to come back to the courts. And so to me, that was an inefficient use of the court time if you have a situation. So I think just a little bit of fact finding to decide when you do and don't do those kinds of things. And I think that also would speed up the time of caseload and the hearing of cases and help clear the calendar a little better if you're not wasting time on things that aren't going to accomplish anything. So I guess that would be my first thought. The other thing would be getting as much of the court process done electronically. There's still a lot of things that are done by paper that, in my opinion, there's no legal basis why they can't be done electronically. So I would have us look at that as well.